Elim game. So a loss here, and unfortunately, you're out of Lorgar rankings.
Yeah, very true, and feels like you might be out a bit quickly, especially if you are trying to build a team and some history and indeed some official experience, as it were. Looks like we're about ready to get in here, though, folks. Thank you again for your patience. I was excited to get this one underway and see if indeed LPH can just bring their level up slightly versus the other day. Mix KS, of course, I think kind of lazy when it came to the discipline, but individually looking decent. We are not wasting any time. GameZilla does well to find a frag back through that smoke there. So 4-on-4 very, very quickly. A bomb site kind of vulnerable. GameZilla not wasting any time. He's just flying around the map here, trying to find a few more heads. That is rough. Ultimately can't land the shots. The Julie's getting in. Dementor chimes through, but everybody being dealt with here. Lewis is the only one left. He's got the Julies. That's a quick headshot. He's also scared them off the bomb plant here. So round these corners, the fadeaway shots. The Julies can be deadly, and he's going to keep it coming. Can he get this final kill? He can. Lewis takes it.
What did I say about him as well, right? Keep an eye on that name. I'd heard a lot of rumblings about what he can bring to the table, and just bailed him out ever so slightly. My God, that was feeling a little dicey for a hot moment. But now, an opener on that CT side, and a chance for Mix KS to really start pulling away in the CT2. But unfortunately, we're very immediately into the tech pause. So just when it felt like we were getting started and getting underway, we have to take a bit of a breather. But that's good work. Mix KS, right way to start things off. Oh, we've lost Trippies. There, that explains the tech pause at least.
Indeed. Happens a little bit. It does seem like we're back into things relatively quickly, though. So not sure if it is just a disconnect and a reconnect. Looks that way. So yeah, not waiting around too long. Thank goodness for that. Hopefully that'll be the nature of the tech pauses today. We've done all right. There's been like a fair amount, but quite quick. So I think just sort of sorting themselves out as we talk about with these teams. View on the MP9. Ooh, that's not a good switch up, my guy. He will fully panic. A lot of damage done by the molly, I suppose, but they might be able to force a bomb plant here. No, going to be denied. Okay, Lewis is able to come in and deny that. For a moment there, I thought this would be a really great return on investment. Not going to be the case, and Mix KS will get it.
Yeah. Make sure you start off well and print a little bit of early money and a bonus buy like this. And now to come back into the full buy, or we get the first look at a full buy for LPH. Obviously very early in towards the game, but this is going to still be a decent indicator about what's up for this side. But as we got a brief intermission, no better time to go, of course, go and check out our partner at Lorgar. Streaming gaming or sim racing, one solution. Lorgar, ready to play. Go and check them out. There'll be some banners down below as well.
Noisy in at middle here for this first rifle round. View will find the first. AK coming over to try and find another here, but not looking too likely just yet. Mix KS on a heavy bonus. A lot of SMGs. Maybe would have liked to seen one more rifle in the mixture here. View did have one. I'm getting technical, but yeah, the SMGs may well let them down as this round goes on. They have to concede some space, particularly towards middle. Looking pretty good in terms of that ground gained for LPH. What can they do with it now? Meanwhile, Mix KS with a nice idea, getting aggressive in the mid-round. Going to be nobody at the other end of ramp, but just have to be careful not to overthink things, because there is that cave presence. So LPH have got bits of control all over the map right now.
Seconds. GameZilla for one. Had the chance at two, but can't quite get it. Domzik is sort of stuck in two places there, and at range, Dementor will find him. Snacksy going to rotate in. He should get one. I say that operatively. The MP9 running a gun, and Tripe going to find one of his own as well. Snacksy delivers. Spots the head briefly of another. He's just trying to find it, but Dementor got other ideas. It's Mix KS who convert a bonus round. That's very important, and that is an alarming sign for LPH to lose that one, and especially not even get a bomb plant in that one either.
Yeah, most certainly it felt not, you know, perfect, not amazing, but it felt like they should have done more with it. And unfortunately not the case, so that's the first notch, isn't it? The first strike against their name at this point to see whether they're going to be able to match up. A round in which we feel they should be more competitive. It's coming in. Oh, God, that's an awkward break, yeah. Trippy starts taking damage. Thankfully, the traces and the noise just followed by the A4. Lizo, 1 versus 5. All right, what are we looking for there? Gamezilla just staring at the ground. I think he thought he'd killed an AK.
Yes.
But it was, of course, a Galil.
I think he was spamming E as well, trying to hope and look for it, but certainly this will see him off at range. In through the tunnel. What was your uncle? XKS. Around, put on for them. I think as well what we're seeing is just this Mix KS side approaching this game the way we kind of hoped. I think at times it felt like they were a little bit reserved in the way they were playing against in the Circle Academy. This is a bit more of how we expect this side to play. It is puggy. They know that they're going to rely a lot on their mechanics and be quite fast and thick in towards the fights, and that's what we're getting. Decent CS, and a pause that I come through. Once again, this is a technical pause rather than a tactical. 4-0 to start the CT side. Just to remind you as well that this is the pick by LPH, so not looking good at the moment. Slight concerns, to say the least. It's still early, sure, but I'm worried.
Yeah, you and me both. I think it certainly could be scary, scary prospect here if this kind of energy is to continue. But still room, still time to improve things. I think it is certainly an easier said than done type situation thus far. And LPH, you know, it's kind of cool to see them trying to play all 7 maps. And again, big up the official experience and whatnot, target bans and things like this. But I don't know that they necessarily have a map that they're at home on. Good clean kill. I hold my breath for a moment to see if there was a chance at the trade, but it doesn't come. It's a lot of HP taken away, and spamming through the smoke is a bit close here. Gamezilla is the one to do the damage, getting aggressive and finding that bomb as well as a 2-piece. Really shouldn't be getting away with that at all. And they're on a full-on re-aggress. I mean, this is just what Mix KS are about, right? Constantly moving, buddy system up, looking good, aggression all over the place, and they will pick you apart with those individuals. If they can do that, brilliant. If not, they don't have much of a game. But at the moment, looking good with that kind of style.
Nice find. Lizo slips in the back neck to catch one, but there's nothing really else he's going to be able to do here. Bomb is the opposite side of the map and completely unrecoverable. Stefan, and on the swing, Lewis over fights there, loses his life. Flash round. Single digit HP. I'd just be keeping the AK alive here, to be honest. There's no way he's making anything out of this round. And I think he partly even knows that himself. Tuck your head over towards Temple, keep it alive and towards the next, and just try and reset and go again. But yeah, God, this is a tough look. It really is.
They're a little close. It's just a couple of moments in places, isn't there, really? They had a nice opener, and then Gamezilla somehow pushes a main. Dry double kill. Like, how's that not being held for? How are you not trading it? Yeah, like, look at this. How does he get away with this? You know, it's just a bit of a miscalculation of how to deal with that. Guy at the back needs to be running in confirming that kill rather than still just trying to play for like the headshot, you know? Could be a bit nitpicky, but you really need the rounds. You really need the advantages.
Well, a moment to discuss. It's a pretty damning situation for them. I feel like first half, T-side of Ancient. 5 rounds will be pretty good. 4 rounds, again, it's like a kind of bare minimum. Any less, serious trouble. And getting to the likes of 4 or 5 rounds at the moment is feeling like a bit of a stretch. It's not exactly a good showing at the moment. Ashram, work forward. A tick in the molly should let them know that Loizo is somewhat up close, and they're getting spammed down through and met by Dementor. As he had a gap before the smoke plume. Lewis, one of his own as well, but a drive-by Tech9 will respond.
Well, let's see. Nice follow from Snacksy. 3 versus 3 as the bomb goes down. I did like the look of this a few moments ago. Superior weaponry, you feel like, should still be able to come out on top here. Snacksy spotted in the cave. However, View also spotted. Gamezilla having a great, crisp few rounds here. Spams down 1. Nikolai on the tech. It's not ideal, but he's in a good spot for it. Trying desperately to find this kill. View is in on his USP. Maybe needs to pick up the pace ever so slightly if his teammate goes down. Against the odds, he's going to go moving through the smoke. Will they find success? Somehow, he doesn't find Snacksy, but his teammate does. Just about enough time on that bomb. It's awfully close. M1X KS denying away, again, what felt like a very comfortable round.
God, and by the finest of margins. Only a sliver left on that timer, but they get it nonetheless. And another situation where it does just feel, and you've got to kind of feel for them, but it's tilting. Tough predicament, though. It really is. Diving towards mid. He actually doesn't commit to the elbow fight. Once again, B ramp is the early point of contention. Smoke there, Nate behind, and the Nate is a healthy one at that.
Domzik is dedicated to this angle. It was his shot, but it does not land. Meanwhile, cleanly held on the flank this time around. Trippy in towards middle, hoping to catch this very same player, but it's what LPH needed. Aggression comes their way, and they're able to find the kill. Dink landing. Meant it to find Snacksy. Lovely little move as Trippy tries to stay alive, but not going to happen for him. The AK's coming out on top of these fights. Lewis could certainly turn the tide, though. Look how low they all are. He gets bested from behind. Nearly the hero. I don't think he spotted the bomb there, so View is dedicating more and more towards A. And it's not going to be A, so what does he want to do here? They've got plenty of cash.
Give it a go. Do it.
Why not?
Drive out with the Tech9. Oh,
creeping.
Bunny hop. Oh. Honestly, if he continues rounding the corner rather than, like, you know, whereas generally the smart play of, like, stop, counter straight for the Tech9. If he just holds, like, you know, holds A, swing around that corner, he probably actually wins the fight against that orb. They were both tagged, but finally a round to fall back on for LPH. And now needs to be a springboard, needs to be a bit of a catalyst. Of course, you give it a go. You got plenty of money. You're not too worried. Even if you lose this round, you've still got money to buy in towards the next. For LPH, any chance to get in towards this half, we need probably 3 rounds in a row to really put that pressure on towards the CT side and finally give us a bit of a chance. Lots of Utah burn in towards mid, and it's fair. We'll open up proceedings, break on the smoke. Trippy will tuck himself back in towards Donut. Smart move because he was under pressure, and Lewis will lose his head. Double opener for the T side.
Oh, just the tiniest bit of the silhouette spotted. LPH seems to be coming back into this one now. Learning to fight fire with fire as the game goes on. I think doing a good job of guns up, sense of timing, not getting caught off as much, but also hitting a few shots, warming up into the game for sure. Bomb going to go down. 4-on-2, and I think that's a save for these two remaining players. The money has run out quickly, hasn't it?
Yeah, don't get too much of a chance there, to be honest. You just have to call that one. You can save it, though, with the AWP and... I was going to say, if you can save it with the AWP and the M4, but the M4's lost his life, so scratch that. If the AWP can save, which is... Wait, hang on. Hang on. He's doing an interview with us. Oh my God, they've run away. He's won it. He's actually won it. They can't get back in time. He's won it. Oh my God, that is such a blunder. Guys, look at, on his feet. I can't even tell what that is.
Timeout taken immediately.
Immediately. Can't
the
even
mental
tell what that
is boom.
Because the camera's 240p quality. But
yeah.
What I can tell you, it's a CT side player, so stood up in celebration, it seems. What a round to steal away. I highlighted View coming in towards this game, mainly for his fragging ability, but that is smart. That's heads up. He just hid in plain sight, and a real blunder to make for LPH.
Yeah, I mean, that's wild. Look, it's a valuable lesson.
Yeah. You only made that mistake once.
Always,
they say.
Always leave a guy. Just regardless. Just always leave a guy at least a little bit near, still, not on the bomb site, but like just on the ramp, just having a watch. Last man out, takes it slow. And then it never happens again. Oh my goodness. It has awoken the beast though. Domzik taking matters into his own hands. And maybe he was the guy that quietly voiced, perhaps someone should stay with the bomb, guys. We should be careful. And he's back with a vengeance. Rather than getting angry at his teammates, he's getting angry at the enemy. And they look set to find a flawless one after being embarrassed slightly.
It's a crazy round to kind of throw back at them. Individual brilliance. Bit of tilt, maybe, that's said, oh, I'm just going to fly in towards the fights here. But, yeah, Domzik's look great. Lowest rated player against the ESC side. He really struggled to get going, but there's a lot more like it. Went up. For him now, it truly is about saving. Unlike the gimmick of the last round.
He's thinking about it, though, isn't he? It's in the back of his mind. Maybe
I
give it a go. But nah, too far.
The save is going to be tough here. Yeah, he's being flanked from both angles. He probably dies. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Well, look, LPH, ultimately 3 good rounds. 1 goes disastrously wrong, but against the odds. If they can keep it coming, I suppose they could potentially hit the 5, but 2 is obviously not going to be enough. See what Mix can do if they have got an answer back of their own. Taking a timeout here. Something, by the way, in the Inner Circle Academy game, I'm pretty sure we maybe saw them take 1 timeout the entire series. Maybe not even. It just felt like they were letting the game happen to them rather than taking those timeouts and slowing things down.
It's a nice thing to have in the sense of, at the very least, like, you understand that you can't afford to let games just completely run. Don't allow kind of momentum to slip away from you. I mean, I think, you've got 2 sides to it here. LPH is about the recovery. Mix, it's about doubling down upon the lead that you started with. Like we said, 4 bare minimum for LPH. 5 would be good. Both are still achievable here in the remaining 3 rounds of this half. To be honest as well, considering the buy that M1X KS have got here, you'd assume that the 3rd, and by virtue of the broken econ, the 4th, should be all but guaranteed, really. So, let's see if that ends up being the case.
Looking for a B execute here, I feel. keeping it light for the time being, seeing how much control they can get, particularly in the cave area. Dementa fully being forced away by not one, but two Molotovs. And now they look to pull away, despite this little bit of cave control that they got. And they're very sure of an A hit, it would seem, Mix KS. Fortunately, they have got the wrong idea, the complete wrong idea. And thus, B might be tougher to defend. Again, though, LPH is selling it in a fashion that it's like, it's just one person, throwing a smoke and a molly, maybe. Nothing going on over here. And it's working. Wow, Dementa just gets totally blindsided.
Yeah, he didn't see that coming at all. And honestly, as this bomb goes down, I think with the way they're set up, you'd be pretty tempted to keep hold of what you've got here. I don't even really think it's kind of like a worthwhile thing committing to giving this a go. You can try and play exits, but that'll be about as deep as it gets. And they are sort of doing that. Gamezilla's near enough the action. The scouter view's fallen. There's a player just out of elbow. Potentially Trippy heard the steps. He's holding for it just in case. Oh. No way he's going to get out alive. Oh my god, he does. Wow. Not even just alive, with a kill, in fact, on top of it. So an active exit play ends up working completely against Mix KS. They're left with a 5-7 to bring in towards this non-existent round. LPH should be getting a fourth.
Incredible. All right, let's see. LPH in prime position to really close the gap and honestly get themselves a respectable first half after a really, really weak start and a crazy ninja defuse that, you know, you maybe see 1 in 1,000 rounds, if that, to be honest, probably more. Got to think how many rounds of Counter-Strike you reckon we've done in this tournament alone, to be fair. Couple hundred, I suppose.
Yeah.
A few days. Yeah, probably a hell of a lot of rounds need to be played to have a ninja defuse like that.
It's the first time I've seen one in, God, maybe like 4 years.
Yeah. They just don't happen at the top level anymore.
Yeah.
Because, again, they've set up really well for that kind of...
what was it that we saw yesterday? I swear we saw something yesterday where we said I had not seen... Oh, the 13-0. I haven't passed the 13-0 in... God, I do think it's like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah. No, it's got to be a while. I think... who did I see? B-Trams putting up like a stat about in CS2.
Yeah.
We've only had like 2 11-1 comebacks.
Really?
So imagine how many 13-0s we've had.
Yeah.
In that time.
However, I'd make the argument that an 11-1 comeback like is harder.
In big games.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'd make the argument that an 11-1 comeback is harder than a 13-0 though.
Interesting. I mean, the 13-0 becomes hard because you got to win the pistol.
Yeah.
And that's you could be dominating the rifles and whatever. Like, I get that.
Yeah.
But then it just resets. You got the pistol and, you know, for me, that throws things up in the air again.
Yeah, I think 13-0 is easier than doing an 11-1 comeback, in my opinion. Because I would say a 13-0, like, obviously, if you're just, obviously, a better team, but you're constantly kind of just decimating through, like, you just have so much momentum and the other team just check out and they kind of give up, basically, as we kind of saw yesterday. But, like,
yeah,
to 11-1, to be 11-1 down at the half and not give up and then pull off a, you know, an insane run of consistency like that, like, I would say, for me, that feels harder.
Yeah. No, I think you might be right.
You've got to have insane mental fortitude to be able to pull off.
Yeah. I'm sure some pro teams might look at it the same way, though.
Yeah.
You know? Really depends on how good that mental is. A team like FaZe, for example. Not this current iteration of FaZe. The previous ones. Mix KS getting clapped out in this round. It will be LPH to really fulfill the prophecy with a very, very clean comeback. It could have been even better. It could have been 6-6. So ultimately a trading of streaks results in a very close finish. Mix KS losing themselves in the middle there.
It's true.
And never figuring it out again.
And do you know what, as well, this is kind of the same thing that sort of happened against Inner Circle Academy. There was like times where it just felt like they just lost what was themselves and their idea. And credit where it is due. I mean, this is an LPH side who are making the most of where they're at. Having a little scroll of the HLTV here. What are we looking for?
Just see what their economy looks like.
he's looking at stats. He's looking at stats.
He is. He's looking. He's like, right, who can I farm?
He actually is just looking at stats.
This might just be ADHD though. I feel like he was just scrolling through the kill feed, like the bot feed.
Who was he looking at there? Left hand side of the page. Loizo. He was looking at Loizo's page.
Maybe getting a bit annoyed. But then he just started scrolling through the like kill bot.
Yeah.
The HLTV bot. So score bot, that's what I'm looking for, isn't it? But yeah, either way. Is it going to help him get in their head? Is it going to help him click some heads? We'll find out. Straight on to B. Yeah, it's here. He's got a lovely little flash for himself. Does create a couple of kills. I think he can be happy with that. Hopefully the rest of the team can mount the retake now. Molotov comes in. That'll keep them at bay momentarily. Not very, very long. And GameZilla, not really sure, right, on that peak. Where they're at, doesn't have the info. No pre-fire for him coming in. Lewis also dealt with it. It's going to be trippy here to find a few. Oh, goodness. He might just do it. Into the one-on-one. Knows where he's at. Now has full run off the mill.
This is beautiful.
Run of the cube here. Really well done. As he just winds that clock down. Oh, my goodness.
Tom and Jerry.
Holy, the Benny Hill theme. Absolutely. Chasing each other around. Oh, my God. And for good measure, he just takes him down after the fact, and it's just a useless kill.
That is hilarious. You can see him giggling. That's
it couldn't get any better as a clutch. Like, you find 3 kills that are crazy, and then you just goofing around for the next 20 seconds. Unbelievable.
That is a great way to get the pistol. That's so funny. proper Benny Hill stuff. Mix KS. I also feel like really needed that pistol, to be honest, as well. Like you lost that there, and LPH's streak at that tail end of the first half would have continued in towards their CT side, which ultimately gets kind of concerning. Molly down. Snaxy probably dead to rights here, and is. Nice work from Lewis. I think he actually might have heard him jumping up there, which is where that Molly comes into play. Domzik. Scout. Just deal a pop shot. You'll get tagged and mollied away as they're barreling in towards A, and they're going to take it, and take it with ease.
Yeah, probably a save for these remaining 2. Oh, man, that is such a tough pistol to be losing, and you see the effect it has now. They lose out on the conversion. They got to eco the next. So it's going to be double digits for Mix KS, and they thrive on this T side, I think. Full control, full carnage. I may well be able to close things out quickly, and again, to highlight over in the top left there, this is the pick of the LPH side of things. Dust2 up next for Mix KS. I think they got Mirage and Dust2, you know, on rotation.
Yep.
Really looking great on those types of maps. Nikolai going to go down, so it's just Fier to save it. We'll get to do that. Maybe. Possibly. Yeah. In the corner, he's just about making it out. Oh, it's actually a lot longer than I expected, you know, and he had to battle to save there. Nonetheless, is it going to make a massive difference? I wouldn't have said so. Money-making opportunity for him, perhaps, but beyond that, it will be another round going the way of Mix KS bar. Something crazy.
Yeah. You're probably right. And MP9. And what, 2 flashes? Yeah, 2 flashes to work with. A CZ. Yours as well. As good as it gets. Heroic shots here. The MP9's going to get 2. Oh my. Already a bit problematic. Dementa's 2 points of HP as well. Hang on a second. There might just be something. Might be something potentially looming. Lewis. Nice shot. It's... These are that falls, and now they can plant, but there is guns to be scooped up. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if you give this a proper look in. They were so close to the Menta being killed in from behind. Now, however, Nikolai... I was going to say, surely there's a rifle down in towards elbow.
He wants to win the round, bro.
Fair play. I'm going to get a buy for the next round, I guess. Shot. Right, you get Lewis, there's a real chance.
Not enough time now, though. Takes another one down. Should be able to save one of these rifles. All right. He just doesn't seem bothered. Not commed, maybe. I don't know. All right. Just doesn't seem bothered at even looking.
It's got to be, though, surely. Oh. Only dies anyway.
Yeah, see. Mixed KS. They keep a guy near the bomb site.
Smart.
Just in case. Yeah, I don't know. To be honest, did he maybe... One of them makes it towards A. I'm not sure. Either way, whatever. Buying in this round. The AK could be a 5% difference, but... Not looking too likely. Keep your eye on Nikolai. Is he going to dink a guy and get dinked himself? That's kind of the only situation where it would have helped him. Straight into the boost. Fierre's got the right idea. He's going up, though. And he will walk straight into it. He had half an eye on it, but unfortunately not keen enough. First couple kills for Mixed KS come fast. There's a big tag on Snaxy. And before we even start the conversation about this round, it feels like it's over.
I think you're right. Snaxy's just so vulnerable. Freeze called. Loizo ran through that smoke as well. One will come down. Gamezilla's technically in front of it, and Snaxy, that low player, dead to rights. The last is an AWP. They don't need to fight him. They could just completely avoid him, but they are going to drop a molly at his feet, and they'll see him off as well. That's not to be recovered if you want, and it will be 11th on the board for Mixed KS. They are very close now to that finish line. And with being an awkward force buy back in place for LPH, I think this map is basically all but done here. You lose this, your chances are, yeah, next to gone here, really. I just feel like Mixed KS are a side that, you know, if they're able to put up a good CT side, it's going to be even more worrying because we just know how good they're going to be on the T side. That is a triple nade. Poor Faye, man.
Snaxy will find one, though. Lewis almost going down as well. Oh, this is weird. He does so well. Oh, my God. I don't believe it. The first is ridiculous. The second is just impossible. That is crazy. Oh, man. And the spam as well.
I got told he was a bit of a demon. There it is.
He's in his element right now, is our Lewis.
He might have to bail them out this round entirely, though.
Yeah, to be honest. We'll see. See how it pans out, right?
He's got to
on the off, going to finish it. That's brilliant.
He's got 4 kills with 3 points of HP.
Yeah.
4.
Insane. Absolutely insane.
More kills than HP is a mental thing to see. It's very rare you see something like that. This has been a game of sheer randomness at times. Triple nade, though. That is stunning. That's learned as well. Learned behavior about how they like to play in towards mid, and it's just too easy, too textbook. And countered brilliantly. His final bullet as well, by the way, on that spam. Oh, Lewis again looking for 3, and he's going to get it. He's a one-man army right now, Lewis, and he's an unstoppable one at that. The last man, Snaxy, seen off, and that is superb. Lewis, take a bow. Those last 2 rounds alone are absolutely incredible.
Yeah, so very valuable. I mean, showing his prowess, showing what he could be capable of. They couldn't quite deliver those types of performances against Inner Circle Academy, but again, maybe needing a bit of time to get warmed up and just showing
as it got. So it's difficult. I don't think they have the individuals to compete simply enough. And there's, you know, these small little things that accumulate for Mixed KS. Not only the individuals that can shine and the multitude of them, but then it's like the fact that they've got these sort of little gimmicky things up their sleeve. Like we go back to that ninja defuse, like small things like that, which is, you know, a valued lesson that you have to learn. And Mixed KS, it seems like at the moment they're the ones teaching them it. But as the music comes on, you know what that means. It's time to get this show on the road. It is map number 2 here. Dust2, the pick of Mixed KS after already taking that first of Ancient.
Yeah, looking to repeat their successes. Certainly a little blip in that first half, but ultimately super, super dominant, particularly while on the T side. I think that's the thing to watch here, and they look more comfortable on that T side because they're able to just run the game. And I think that that is a really, really big deal for this team. So here on Dust2 as well, which is another run the game type T side, just by nature of the map, it really could get scary if things go to plan. Seems like we got a little bit of a tech just as we get in.
Yeah, I'm looking now.
Classic.
Everyone's in. No, is that everyone in? There is everyone in. Yeah, I'm right. Everyone is in.
Yeah. Not quite sure. Maybe, again, the loss just jumps up.
Yeah.
At a certain point, it does happen. You just got to get yourself straightened out. Before we get into the action, of course. You know, it makes sense.
Yeah. Been on these, as these cameras are running through, like really kind of like judging these setups.
Oh, yeah.
Seeing
What are you thinking?
There's none that are like actually crazy. You know, like we've had a couple that are a little wild, a little funky, a little weird. I haven't actually seen anything like that so far. They've actually been pretty normalized. There we go. Second time of asking. This time we actually are live and underway. So, Dust2, Mixed KS's pick. Let's see what they've got for us. It is a dive in towards lower for the T side, a smoke in towards door as well. And they are flying up short. They're not exactly masking where they want to go here. Smoke down and the temptation for View to dive through that one. Now they will with the flash. They are barreling towards A.
Not wasting any time. Reload, unfortunately, catches Nikolai out. I think he was in a decent spot. Really could have done some damage from there. Getting the trades back in. The Glock's trying to close the gap, and it doesn't work out. It's Domzik's Julies. Actually finding 3 right at the end for LPH. Really, really big finds. We'll put Mixed KS in the dirt to kick off this Dust2.
Yeah, big difference between, you know, having a confident round and then sort of brazen in that sense, right? They didn't mask where they were going from the get-go, and in doing so, it was this very early warning sign to the CT side of what to be ready for and where they're going to be coming from. Too simple, too easy. Too telegraphed. Mixed KS. I know you were the better side, don't get me wrong, in that first map, but still doesn't mean you can completely take your foot off the gas. Still got to show a little bit of respect. LPH aren't going to be a complete walkover.
No, not quite yet. Enter. Calling for a flash. Not quite good enough. And the M4 is going to capitalize on that. Will he get away here? The answer is no, but he does have support, of course.
Oh, okay.
That also gets taken down. Yeah, give it a second. We'll see. He'll be able to get his hands onto a rifle. He's got the bomb as well, so lots and lots and lots of options. Knows his lineups here. And kind of faking things. Okay, dude.
How many more smokes is he going to find?
Yeah. But what is... Does he know his lineups?
No, I think that's fine.
No, that one's fine. What about the other one, though, that he threw before? On the minimap, it looks like it's kind of in the middle of nowhere, unless it's landed in the little trickle spot. What's up?
I thought he was meant to throw a short
I thought it was like
smoke.
mid to B,
nah,
maybe.
I thought it was a short smoke. The one, the
I
second one.
would have figured, yeah, but I'm trying to where it's ended up landing. He's going to go down. The smokes don't really matter. I don't know if we got that tracked for a replay. Potentially not, but... Yeah, aim-wise, it looked like short, and then I think it just kind of went over the top of like the little building that's there and just bounced out of the map, to be honest. So, you know, maybe he doesn't have his lineups. Maybe I give him too much credit.
2-0 start. Beautiful work. And a low buy round for the T side here. No better time to, of course, then go and check out Lorgar. Check your performance, meet your mates, customize any of your devices as well. All in one statistically enhanced and community proven Lorgar platform. GameZilla's being pressured here down mid. They're diving on towards B, and actually, they're going to get a plant out here. Not only that, a pretty difficult post plant to sort of set up. This could be still potentially a little bit spicy.
Very possible. Are they going to give it a go? I mean, why not? Fier coming in from behind. Left a lot of these angles open to try and take the fights, and I suppose just because they have to, given the nature of where the money is at. This is dragging on a bit now. GameZilla with his scout doing damage. It's this player from behind him, Fier, that might give them the path back to the bomb site, and he does indeed. It's not super close, but close enough that it feels slightly worrying. M1X KS had one well-placed smoke or molly. Really could have made a world of difference.
Yeah, no, you're spot on. Could have definitely been a bit scary there. I got to be said, though, even in a round like that, generally speaking, the one thing, the one tick box that we have is get a plant out of this, and you're actually pretty happy. And I mean, that's what they get. So I guess for the most part, you can't be like too annoyed. It's bolstered up your buy heading in towards the next, but we are going to get attack pause taken prior to this round starting. And funny enough, it is by LPH, and we talk about this a fair decent amount, like calling attack pause from a position of strength. Like, we can really kind of get behind that. That for me is something that I do actually like to see. It. You try to really shore up this lead that you're currently working with.
Yeah, it's smart of them for sure. And they absolutely need these rounds. Again, Dust2, as we kind of call it, is the great equalizer. As it can be a map that sometimes just catches you off, and you have to be very careful not to underestimate your opponent on a map like this.
Oh.
And indeed, can pull off stuff like that. So View is going to find the first. Maybe set up space for a bit more. Lewis goes down in towards the tunnels. They're being drawn away. Not finding great success over here, though. Goodness me. That is messy. But in all of that, GameZilla had worked his way through in towards mid, right? He was the big game player, the big moment player. He only gets one kill, but it's super valuable, and I think should be able to shut down the round here. We'll see, because as I give him praise for that, he overfaces, gives a kill back to Loizo. And now opens the round back up in the 1v2. Still,
though, I think this bomb's too far take for him to really be able to give this a go, and especially now with a smoke down, there's no chance in hell. The nade will get one, though. I mean, nothing the Mentor can do. Oh, not a bad effort. Cross it right place. There's View, who, well, starts and closes the round. One on the board for the T side from M1X KS to get things started. It's a bit expensive. It's worth bringing up. All that matters really for them. Get around on the board. Start things. You hope in a kind of a nice natural progression towards this T side and putting the pressure back on towards LPH. But compared to what we saw in towards map, the one I got to be said that I think LPH is starting in towards this one looking a bit more confident. It feels like they're starting to figure out their innate timings a bit, but even with a molly, you've got to be guns up, ready to fight behind it, because M1X KS won't care. They fly through another molly on towards the B site, and they get another easy plant. This is just textbook M1X KS. They are so aggressive. You've got to be guns up, ready to fight from the first few seconds around. It's like fighting, you know, Blast Paris Boros. You know what I mean? Like, sure. These guys will fight you in the first 10 seconds. What you've got to do, you've got to... And actually, I remember speaking to Ash about this a while ago, about how Gamer Legion ended up beating Monty and what they did and whatnot. And he said, we kind of figured out that Boris is going to fight us in the first 15 seconds. So actually, we didn't throw any util in the first 15 seconds. We expected the fight, and then we threw util late in the round. And that's how we were able to kind of overcome. And that's just sort of what you want to see from this LPH side. I sort of want to see them go about it in the sense of, like, start of the round, be guns up, be ready to fight, and then as we hit the minute mark, then you can start putting your standard util around.
Yeah, they kind of flip the idea of how a round works, teams like this. And it can be difficult to deal with. It's also a little bit of what you might say, and look, I could be wrong on this. If there's like an expert in the chat or whatever, you know, give me a bit of the benefit of the doubt. But it's kind of the COD mentality in a way. I believe competitive COD or like high-level COD, a lot of it is based on running routes and learning the fastest route on the map.
That is true. That is true.
You know, clipping the wall correctly and stuff like that. And I think it's maybe bringing that kind of logic into CS for some of these players.
Another B
happens
hit.
Again. Yeah, and I mean, just another catch-off, you know. He's not in a spot to play safe, to stay alive a little longer. He's anchored by himself and just caught out in the open. I feel like that should never happen, really.
Yeah, Mixed KS and showing no respect here. This is pretty wonderful stuff. They know they're the better side. They know they're sharper, and they're making it known. There is definitely still overfacing, but again, like, do you really care that much about overfacing when you're winning rounds so easily? That's a bad missed shot from View. He'll get punished. Orb recovered. Double orb CT side. And Nikolai will put that up to good use as well. I still think this is a bit of an overface by Mixed KS. I will say, you know, they've now lost 4 players in this round. Make that 5. All 5 die. That's definitely an overface. There's no two ways about it. Big overface. They lose all of them. That feels unnecessary for me. And their money's not strong enough to be overfacing like that.
Yeah. A little overzealous, to say the least. They will be kicking themselves. But we'll see. You know, they're confident round on round that they're just going to win them. I think keep that happening. It's not going to matter too much. It will come back to bite them, depending on how this round goes. Again, though, they've just found the groove. They've really found that sense of timing. Molotov comes in. That will have been heard. Slight little ticks. Nikolai got to be careful. What he goes for here, it could work out, though. Is the B hit. I don't really know what's happening with it, to be honest with you. Nikolai comes through and strikes. There's this player in CT, trades one back. But he still needs to get multiple, and it's not going to happen. 2 versus 2. With View finding space up short. Can the bomb join him? Saxy might be able to drop that bomb, honestly, and I think the Mentor knows it. He knows the cross is perilous. So View looks to help him out. I mean, the structure of this round, again, is just all over. Saxy's reface, ill-advised. Nikolai quick to trade. But Dementor, where the hell is he, right? He's not been seen for so long.
Shift walking his way up. They've traded sites in a sense, and bomb will go down. It's Nikolai going to double back. The Mentor ready for the fight. Leg spotted as well. He knows exactly where he is. Good luck to Nikolai. This is surely an absolute death sentence trying to get in. I think briefly spotted. Yeah, spotted again. Maybe slightly overfacing Dementor. Needs to be a little careful. Jumping up on the box. Nikolai's going to get up here. Time ticking. Shoulder spotted. Labored spray. And he'll lose it out. The overfacers will cost them in this sense. And LPH get back into a lead.
Going to be tougher than first thought in this one. LPH still able to contest and win out some of those crunch moments. Looking good. Mixed KS. As we said, because of how costly the hunt was for them in the round prior, they do feel it in this one. They do actually go for it rather than a half buy down the middle, keeping it safe. They are going to try and really stack in, which I'm not so sure about myself. B once again seems to be the name of the game. Dementor gets a contact flash in, going to find that first. However, Fiera at the back of the site can't hold on, nervous, scared. And again, just the sense of protocol and backing his man. completely lost. And it will be another successful B take.
You can kind of see why they want to give it a go, though, as well, because they are barreling into fights and getting so many openers for free. Like, this mixed KS side, it's unbelievably clear now that they wholeheartedly believe they are the best, you know, the better players by quite a long margin. And they're not showing any respect because, I mean, for the most part, they kind of don't need to, right? You know, they're so unbelievably sharp at the moment. And yes, they're overfacing and it's costing them rounds, but yeah, it's pretty nuts. I'm looking through now as well, like it's kind of some of the elos and whatnot, and like, you know, you look at this sort of like Deventer, for example, he's kind of just under 4,000 elo, top 1,000 player in the world. Yeah, they're pretty good. I mean, these guys are 8 and 6 in advance right now. I think it actually might be done, to be fair, but they were 8 and 6 in advance.
Venter to open once again. Snaxy does hold 4-1, but man, I think they might just keep going B until it stops working.
Yeah.
In all honesty, nice little response from LPH though. As they do have 2 players down below in the tunnels. Gonna be smoked off for the time being. That is tedious. They're very, very low here. Really is doable. They're just gonna try and burst through that smoke though, and that, of course, is ill-advised. What other options do you really have? Could have waited for the smoke to go down, make it a bit easier, but yeah, it's tough. They just can't hold B. Simple as that.
That's it. Lewis is 4K elo. Top 500 player in the world. Yeah. They just kind of, they just don't thoroughly believe that they are the better players. And, you know, credit where it's true. Like, they're playing like it. I think you're right. You know, they are just going to continue barreling in towards this B site until they're eventually punished. And at this rate, it doesn't look like they're going to get punished too quickly because they're so consistently diving out, gaining space, and putting such pressure on. I mean, Snaxy didn't even know what to do there. Beautiful work. Beautiful work. 5-4. Honestly, for me, the scoreline, it feels very misleading. As much as it's a one-round game, it feels incredibly one-sided.
Yeah, no, that is true. The nature in which Mixed KS are winning the rounds. And again, they're just going to go B.
Yeah. Why not?
Well, indeed. The Paravision book of Dust2. I think this map in particular, they just pummeled B bomb site against like Falcons or someone because they were playing with a stand-in.
Yes. Yep.
So if it works, it works, and it's pretty much impossible to retake, as we are seeing, as we all know by now. And this might just be it for the rest of the half, right? Or at least until they're able to answer back.
Does that watch? Swing. And I'll say it off as well like that. So, Mixed KS are flying through this. God, this really is feeling tough to watch at the moment. You know, we had a 13-5 in that first map, and if they continue kind of running through this, they're now starting to get kind of like crisper and crisper as the game goes on. Like, it just feels like that'll be the case. Maybe another 13-5, may I say, 13-6 potentially. Money broken once again, bar that of Domzik. Or buy broken, I guess, more than anything. Gamezilla. We'll get up close this time. They're putting a little bit more presence towards B. There's now 3 players in this direction, one of which being the AWP of View as well. On the flip side, to keep them at bay, we got Fair. Snaxy and Nikolai, but it's Domzik in the AWP on towards that A-long position. Down he goes, the A-side player. Oizo will get one himself. That's an AK scooped up.
Could be big. Yeah, in from behind here. Surely going to drop another. Okay, this is very doable now. Bomb has gone down. That's the big thing that makes the difference. Can we get the shooting gallery going here? Dementa from the car is actually all alone now. Trying to isolate the jewels as best he possibly can. Clean taps. Oh, he's doing it.
No way.
Nikolai on the AWP. Hoping, praying, but Dementa denies. And a huge find, keeping his cool, hitting those heads. And that is definitely an Elo demon at work.
Yeah, that is ridiculous. Oh my god. Tapping away. So low on the ammo, but not a care in the world. You know, definitely still over fighting, sure, but that's a crazy ace by Dementa. What a round for him. Just full of confidence. We highlighted his name coming in towards this series and said we probably wanted a little bit more from him in that previous game that we didn't get against Inner Circle Academy. Well, there it is. Nikolai will go down to the flames of Gamezilla. Domzik for one. Loizo is well on the trade. So long control is still hard to find, but Gamezilla is out now, and he, on this wrap, really can be the difference maker. He's been heard on the site from the CT player. That's the only difference. But he also will catch that CT player. He looks for two, and he'll get it. Gamezilla, beautiful stuff. It's night and day, unfortunately, the level between M1X KS and LPH right now, and Gamezilla making sure that that is well known. 8-4. I'll say it again. This is a very misleading scoreline. This 8-4 feels like a 10-2.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's pistol and conversion. They had one rifle round in there. So without that pistol, look, let's indeed be nice to them. It definitely would be 10-2, maybe even 11-1. So, yeah, really rough. But more of what we expected. And this is the thing, the cards never lie. The future predictions are often pretty damn good in tournaments like this, because that M1X KS side just have that experience. And we talked about, you know, they got like high HLTV rating and a bit of a lower VRS, but they are at least ranked in that sense. Something that LPH are dreaming for at the moment. Charging in. Maybe getting a little cocky here, M1X KS. They had a solid advantage there and just balls to the wall straight through the longhouse, trying to find more fights. So they will be taught some humility down to the 3 versus 3.
Yeah. Let's calm down just a little bit. If anything, though, it kind of feels like maybe, you know, very akin to, you know, kind of like B&E days. Sometimes kind of calming them down works against them. We kind of saw that. There was like a time, you know, when Devil Walk took over as a coach and they were trying to play a little bit more sort of strat heavy, and it did actually make the side of Ultimate a little bit worse. Sometimes them being relentlessly puggy is what it's all about. No one towards B. You know, smoke will come down. They'll take a leaf out of M1X KS's book as I go for a B plant. They are here quickly, though, and that's the big difference. There's also a flank brewing. They're waiting for Lewis. Here he is. One. The second's there for him as well. And now to 1 versus 1. You got to back Lewis here, but Fairs has some good shouts and some good moments for this side. He was the highlight player that we had, and he has a highlight round. Fair was the one we said do not sleep on. He had decent moments, and there it is.
Yeah, brilliant stuff from him to just lock that one in. After a bit of a throwaway kill by M1X KS, I think they will be disappointed not to bag that. I believe, what, 2-piece in the beginning. Oh, at long, make it look super, super easy. But yeah, given the chance. What does it look like from here is the question. Can LPH really close this gap? And again, it's not 100 million miles away, thanks to the pistol of that first half as well. The 8-4 is a decent scoreline worth talking about. Will be a force buy back in from this CT side. So, oh man, they're hoping to try and get something done here. I'll probably take that trade. A healthy Dementor with an AK now is a pretty big deal. Trippy is looking to sneak his way in here as well. Nearly getting away with it. Not quite. So it's going to come down to the scout on the side to just buy some time for the AK to get in. And View looking for a couple of heads. Oh, Loizo does so well to get him there. I was worried for sure, but it's definitely not out of the woods just yet, Neo.
Open the boxes. Dementor making a move, spotting ahead, dealing damage, but he just can't find the kill just yet. It's this guy at range, a difficult one to deal with, and as he jumps up, Loizo plays underneath the barrel. Close but not to be. 2 rounds by LPH in the dying embers of it. I think as well, this is finally for maybe the first time in a while where I feel like actually we need to see M1X KS finally slow it down a tad, right? And finally play a little bit more kind of regulated in kind of their approach. When you are absolutely farming, it's tough to kind of rein yourself back in because they see themselves as considerably better players, but they're getting a taste of their own medicine. Quick T sides from LPH, and they're diving out long, and it's more the same.
Nade. Big on one. Big on the next, maybe. Not quite as good second time of asking, but at least they managed to find a kill. GameZilla finds himself all alone. Desperately trying for the head, and his crosshair was on. I think the aim punch getting the better of him for that one. LPH bringing it within 1 now, and all of a sudden the gap has closed exponentially. So we really got to watch out on the M1X KS side. The lead under severe threat now.
They got to be really careful. Back in towards the buy. View's got out his AWP. Smoke Domzik. Only that comes down as well. Bounces off that ledge. That'll give them short control. So actually might get flashed in towards this fight, however. But mid to short control now taken for the T side. It's a little bit more kind of textbook here by LPH as they're scaling through one step at a time, but it's good map control to have, and it just gives them the opportunity for a couple of choices. Do you commit towards that short player that you wrap through? Loizo swing, and he'll catch GameZilla off. They're going to head towards B, but there is one here to meet them, and a second that they don't know about yet, but they will soon.
Indeed. Lewis, fluffing it ever so slightly. Maybe he should have had one from there. Not even a could-have type conversation. Or could have. View. Missing shots as well. M1X KS. They are slipping. The 8th round is going to be secured for my money. They look like they want to stick around and try and give it a go, but I don't think so, lads. Take the save. They're going for it, though, now. I mean, they've not got kit. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'll have a little look. And they will eventually go to save. But 8-8. Really quickly, actually. Yeah. I'm worried now. M1X KS have disappeared.
It's kind of a bit of a taste of their own medicine as well, because, you know, there's a few showings from LPH where there is these punchy rounds, but at the same time, they are throwing in a few more of those slightly more textbook plays, slightly more kind of like calibrated, expected ones, which is probably what M1X KS should have done at times. You know, some of the rounds that they lost in that first half, you know, I think it was like 1 of the 4 was actually just them overfighting, overplaying, being too quick and too relentless and not reining themselves back in. And we are kind of seeing here where this is not the same mistakes that LPH are making. This swing's really nice. That gives them a nice little bit of headway. But it's that early map control. It just gives them the luxury of choice. And luxury choice late in towards around, no less. 8-all, as you mentioned. Scouting play for View. Had an open the round prior, but finances are running a little thin. Need to break the smoke. Nothing spotted behind it. They're scaling up mid here. This is a bit bold.
Oh, we like it, though. GameZilla going to be able to net one. The AWP having a look. An accidental jump, but just trying to spot some players out as best he possibly can. Lewis going down. It's a weird setup here to deal with. They walk straight into the trap. GameZilla keeps him coming. He will fall. And Trippy has really sold it. He was worried about a man coming in from suicide to take him down. I think he could have traded and brought this into a 3v1. He doesn't know that, I suppose, but dedicate to your position, my guy. And he'll go down towards long. A wacky round from him individually. It might just cost them.
"40 seconds. What is the plan here? Bomb's not super committed, but it looks like they're going to commit towards the A site slowly. There's 2 kits down short. Both the 2 remaining players alive don't have kits. So maybe you're hoping that you get Dementa rotating through short, pick up one of those kits. But then again, also potentially might not even be needed. View is tucked on the site, and with what is about to be 10 seconds to try and get this C4 down, this is going to be easier said than done. He's here to meet them, and he gets the one guy who's not planting, but he's planting right in front of them. Dom's going to confirm getting that bomb down. So maybe a slight silver lining there of the palm, but it's Mix KS who do get the round. It's super scrappy, but it's a desperate move late there by LPH, and honestly, a bomb plant is probably as good as it gets.
Yeah, that is true. That is a fair argument. Definitely curious to see what the deal might be moving forwards for LPH, whether they do have anything else in the locker, or if, as we have seen throughout this series, to be honest, Mix KS just need that one round to wake them up, get the read on their opponent, get the download, as we like saying. Yeah, up shots out. Nothing coming just yet. It will be pretty comfortable buy for the T side, and when he's not running out super quickly here.
Shot. Try to get for you. To the smoke. I in a bit of trouble here. He's getting peppered with you. Peppered with you, Topless. Well, he's up again on these swings. I'll give him this credit. Pretty sharp.
Looking good, as GameZilla will manage to trade up Loizo. I think with that kill, kind of just confirms it for me. Double digits around the corner here. Snacksy holding out. Nothing coming for him, and it's kind of happened again. The pace change up. Mix KS really stepping up the past couple of rounds, but just the TDM mode may be coming back into play, in all honesty. So got to be careful here with how things continue on for this LPH side in particular. Early nades out, as things are looking good for Mix KS, wanting to just again try and net some early fights, more so over towards long this round. Got aggression up short, and again really quite aggressive, as you see Trippy getting down mid. Double nades, pretty damn effective, great way to kick things off, and they just pummel them in the tunnels and now go flying in looking for the fight. Snacksy's left on 4 HP, and he's out of this round before it's ever begun. However, B might be the one angle. Is it going to be vulnerable enough over here? Dementa down quick. View on high with the AWP. Going to have to do a bit of something. He's fully mollied off, though. Really well done. I mean, the damage is massive. So maybe they do give this a look, and maybe they do find success, but they know, as well as we do, retaking the B bomb site, very, very difficult. Is this a repos? No, it's a full save.
Full save. They got nothing to do with it. I don't really blame them. You are right, like so much damage being dealt, but there's just no roll-in routes. 3 players alive here, bit of util. I think you can give it a little look, but 2, and one of which being the AWP, and no kits too. It's not really worthwhile for me. LPH will put up another on the board. The save will be successful at the very least. Moving as a pack here, LPH, as they're wrapping through CC. To be fair, they might walk in towards the AWP. They look like they were continuing to hold W a little bit. Snaxy goes down to the bomb. Slightly unfortunate, but it doesn't really matter for LPH right now. These are the kind of rounds they need to be putting up, and they throw one back at M1X KS with their old favored B-pop. They still are doing the bulk of the work on this T side. LPH still can't kind of discredit what we're seeing from them. That's, at least momentum-wise, I still feel that M1X KS are in that quite comfortable spot. Late long take going to be coming through here. Loizo got out first. You got just one for now. Gemzilla towards the A side. He'll drop a lurk smoke. That keeps the T side at bay. It will slow them down. At the same time as well, he's going to get a bit of support. I mean, Trippy's wrapped all the way through here. Hang on a second. They now basically know it has to be going towards the A side. Trippy's wrapped all the way through. He's also the rotation player. Whether he spots them going in through mid, back towards lower, or hears them running through spawn, he'll know for sure. This round's surely already all but done, and LPH don't even really know about it yet.
Yeah, pretty tough. I mean, look, it's all going to come down to the shots, isn't it? It's the big thing. Can they defy the odds with the headshots? Yeah, says yes. Finds that opener. Break comes in. And the flash! Oh, Gamezilla nearly lines them all up, to be honest. Homesick does well. 1 versus 2. Not out of the question for Snaxy. Recovery of the bomb. Eats a nade, and the smoke goes down for good measure. M1X KS will just about get it in, but that's a little closer than I think maybe we expected, given how things looked with that flank.
Yeah, definitely closer than I think M1X KS, even themselves, would have thought. But like we said, it was just that round was theoretically all but sorted off the back of that initial push by Trippy up mid. It's such a smart move. It's a little risky, but it just pays off massively. 9-11. And 2 rounds ahead, 2 rounds away. They've gone for that 4 by LPH. I don't blame them. They're playing for the win rather than playing for OT, but it does mean that it's a double Galil, Deagle, Tech 9, and 1 AK to work with in this one. And a loss here, especially about a bomb plant, means their finances are going to be in ruin for what is most likely the final round of play.
Yeah, it's tough. It's very, very tough. Maybe the final round of play in the entire tournament, so perhaps that level of stake will spur them on. Trippy finds Fier. He's been having a few nice moments individually, but not in this round. Lewis, it's close, but he still gets it. 2 to the good now. Are there any more available? They're going in deep to try and find Lewis, and you know what? They were set up to deal with that, but they do split up unceremoniously. Loizo gets his, but it's still only 2 remaining on this T side. Wild dry swing. Gamezilla makes it work, and it is Loizo left. 1 versus 4. Ace clutch going to be required with 20 seconds. He's got the bomb, and that is about the only positive I can give him. Creeping in, being watched for, on and off angle. Will he clear it? Leg spotted now.
Yeah.
They know where he's at. There's just no time, so he's
True.
saving what he has into the next, I suppose, and yeah, try and give it a go with this M4. It'll be the only weapon of note into what could be the final round.
Oh,
regulation. Ooh, he just survived.
No, he doesn't.
Gamezilla takes him down. Oh, man.
Poor guy. Poor guy. 12-9. The series. Yeah, it's about to come to conclusion. We got basically a Tech 9 play for what is most likely the final round here for them. Never completely discount these sort of rounds, though. Sometimes they can be a little scary, a little difficult to deal with. Great nade, though. Trippy looking for more, and he'll get it in the flames. Lewis, one of his own, too. Surely that is all she wrote. They've got them locked in towards upper B, and that is that. Domzik, he gets his consolation short, but he's dead to rights. 13-9. M1X KS see off their map pick, and they're doing so this series.
Yeah, and I mean, looking relatively decisive. Look, you win out both pistols there. I think that makes the biggest difference for LPH. If we remove those, we have 6 rounds taken away, you know, so it ends up being like a